Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome onto my channel today, and it gives me great joy to observe you are viewing this video. I'm Dr. Olainka. I'm a researcher, I'm a scholar, I'm an academic, I'm a public speaker. On this channel, I do a number of stuffs, but all the stuffs I do, you can easily cluster them into four: sociology, research, relationship, and migration. I drop content on this as frequently as possible to assist my subscribers and my viewers. Meanwhile, if today is your first time of coming in contact with my channel, my video, kindly subscribe to this channel and tell others. Tap or click the subscribe button on your screen to subscribe to this channel. If you have subscribed previously, thank you very much for staying tuned. In this video, I want to address another very important issue within the context of migration, so I can assist you, my viewers, and my subscribers. You may be a plug to the people in your network. You may share this video with them if you think they will find it very relevant. The title of this video is Most Likely Questions You Will Be Asked at the Port of Entry when traveling or migrating abroad. This video is very important. Meanwhile, I dropped another video immediately before this on how to avoid deportation at the port of entry when migrating or relocating abroad. In that video, I mentioned some issues that you need to pay attention to. It's very common now for immigration officials abroad to send people back home at the port of entry without allowing them to enter the country, even when they had valid visas. You know, migration is now trending. People are traveling en masse, and many people are not prepared. So many have visas, even with their families, and they're sent back home. So that's why I made that video. That even if you have visa, it's not a guarantee that you will enter the country if you make some silly mistakes. And some of these issues are addressed in that video. And this one too, I want to, as a follow-up, I will still do another follow-up after this. As a follow-up, I want to address most likely questions you will be asked when you are traveling abroad. Whether you are going on visit, you have a visitor's visa, or some other visas. Some questions are so generic, and you can also look at this in context of the visa you will be holding. Maybe you or somebody in your network. So know that deportation at the port of entry is very common. People are sent back home. Only you may not know. I've had several cases of people who were denied entry at the port of entry and sent back home. You may not know, but it's very common now, and that's why I'm making this video. So some of these questions, question number one is that they will ask you, what are you coming to do? Maybe why are you coming to Canada? Why are you coming to Australia? Why are you coming to the UK? Why are you coming to Germany? Why are you coming to the United States? So they want to know. Be prepared. It doesn't matter whether you are going to Canada, you have your PR, or you have everything legitimate. Still be prepared. Don't say, well, I'm carrying the PR, so no problem. No, be aware. Like I said in that video I did before this, many immigration officials don't trust immigrants. So, and many of them have their own issues. So you are looking for opportunity to send you back if you make a very silly mistake. So it doesn't matter the kind of visa you're carrying, they still want to be sure you understand and you are a legitimate somebody coming into their country. They will likely ask you, why are you coming into their country? So be prepared. Then, especially if you are on visit visa, they will likely ask you, most likely, how long are you staying? But as you are answering this question, whether why are you coming to Canada or why are you coming here in this country, be smart, be sharp, be brief. They are not your friends. If immigration officials may appear friendly, they may be gisting with you casually, they're not your friends. They're not your friends. So be sharp, smart, and brief, and as formal as possible. So explain vividly, legitimately, why you are coming there to that country. How long are you staying? How long will you stay? So they want to know, especially if you're on a visitor's visa or a short stay, they will like, why are you, how long? So in this one, you have to consider the form that you filled when you're collecting the visa. You have to consider the conference or program you are going for, you have to consider your ticket. You must have a return ticket. They will ask you for your return ticket most likely. They'll tell you for your return ticket, if you're on a visit, your return ticket must be with you. You must never buy a one-way ticket if you are on a visitor's visa. Buy a return ticket and let the return ticket be with you, be handy. Even the form you completed, let it be handy and study it while you're on the flight, before your flights. You will get to destination. Make sure you study. Then the hotel you're going to be staying, they're going to ask you, where are you staying? Are you staying with somebody? Are you staying in an hotel? So make sure you have all these handy and how long will you stay. Consider the time. Maybe if you are even a 2 years visa or a 6-month visa, you don't say you are staying for 6 months. You are on a visit. If you stay for 3 days, if your conference is 3 days, say you are staying maybe 3 days or 5 days, depending on when your return flight is. Just tell them clearly. Don't say, well, my ticket, my visa is 6 months, so I might stay 3 months of this one. And you are saying you are coming for a conference. Automatic refusal of entry. So let your return ticket be handy, your hotel, calculate how long you are staying clearly, very well. Then they will ask you, where are you staying? Where do you intend to stay? The address must be handy. If you are staying with somebody, let the phone number of the person, be sure that the phone number is functional. Be sure that the address is in your head. Seriously, and let them be aware that you'll be coming. So they may also ask you, why do you love this country? Why are you coming to this country? Why do you love Canada? Why do you choose to come to Canada? Even if you're on the PR, permanent resident, or no, you're on PR, or you are going with maybe on account of family relocation, or you are going for work, or you're going for anything, they might still ask you, why do you love Canada? Why do you love Australia? Why do you love the United Kingdom? Why are you coming? Why are you relocating? Make sure you don't run your country down where you're coming from, because they will think this one is never loyal. Just simply say why you are coming. Whether you're on a visitor's visa, tell them what you love about the country that's making you coming there for visit. If you are relocating there, you're relocating permanently with your family, don't necessarily say evil things about where you're coming from, because it will give them a mindset that you are not going to be nationalistic or a very patriotic person even when you come here. So just be succinct. Tell them why you love the country within the context of your visa. So, and they may ask you, what are your plans? What are your plans? Even you that are coming for a visit, they may still want to just ask you, maybe to be sure you're coming for a visit. Or even if you have a PR, you are relocating, or that kind of, they will tell you, what are your plans? So they want to be sure, how prepared are you, and then, are you traveling alone or with your family or with who? They want to know if you're on a visit and you're coming with a whole family. They want to be sure that you're not coming for relocation. And if you are relocating, they want to be sure, and maybe you're on a PR, if it's Canada or some other places, they want to be sure you understand the implication of coming with so much people and why you are coming with them. And if you are prepared, and if your visa actually allows you to come with all these people, so they want to be sure that you are not alone, or you are alone, and you must justify. They may also ask you, how much are you traveling with? Especially if you are coming with multiple people. They want to know, how much are you traveling with? How much you have in your bank account? How much preparations have you made to be sure that you are not stranded in the country you are going to, if you are relocating. And even if you are on a visitor's visa, they want to be sure that you have enough money in your account or in your hands to sustain you while you are in their country. So they may ask you your financial, your financial status, how much you have with you. And this is very important. If you are going on a family relocation, maybe you are on a PR to Canada, proof of fund is still very important. And they want to be sure. If you are on a study visa, they want to ask you, where are you going? Why are you choosing that course? Why are you choosing that university? How you pay your fees? And how long will your study be? What are your plans during your study? They will ask you all these questions for the immediate term, short term, and long term. So when they ask you all these questions, even on study, you must sound very competent and professional to be sure that you understand the implication of carrying a study visa, and to be sure that you are actually going to that country. to study. They might even ask you, after your study, what are your plans? Most of them expect you to return to your country after study. So you must not tell them you will stay back. Let them know that your plan is to go back. Except, even if you have plan for advanced study after that, it's not the time to advertise it. It's not the time to tell them you go for advanced study. The visa you are holding, if it's for undergrad, you let them know that you come for undergraduate studies and after this, you will return home. If you're on a master's, let them know. If it's not a PhD route, let them know that after your master's, you will go. Don't give them conditions or explanations that your visa, current visa, does not cover. You are going to be violating the conditions of that visa. All visas have conditions, whether study visa, whether visitor's visa, whether PR, all visas have their conditions. There's no permanently open visa that allow you. Don't forget, actually I mentioned in my last video, how to avoid deportation. Visa does not guarantee entry. How to avoid deportation at the port of entry. I explained this in detail. So be careful. And when are you returning, they may ask you if you're on a visitor's visa or even on a study visa. They can ask you. Be prepared to be sure you are able to prove that you are returning. It's key. Then, if it's your first time, they may ask you, is it your first time in Canada? Is it your first time in the United States? Is it your first time in the United Kingdom? Your first time in Australia? Especially if you are not a frequent traveler. Even if your travel history shows that you have gone to many countries and even this particular country, they may still ask you to be sure that you understand your passports and your previous visas. Just to be sure you understand, you have the mentality, you have the consciousness, the knowledge and capacity that you are a legitimate migrant or traveler. They must still ask you, is it your first time in this country? Is it your first time? They've asked me that question several. So now I was there. You are seeing the visa of this your country or my visa or my passport. Many of your countries have been here severally on different visas, and you are still asking me if my first time. I said, what kind of question is it? But I must answer. They have their reasons. And I've answered. And I've been to many countries, they just simply start my passport and go without asking me any question. So when they see that you're a frequent traveler. And I've been grilled, as in seriously grilled, probed some countries. So you must be very careful, and you must. So, and if they ask you, when do you intend to go back home? As a visitor or a student visa, calculate your visa, calculate your time, calculate your program, and answer appropriately. All they want to guarantee is that you are a legitimate, a trustworthy immigrant coming into their country, or a trustworthy student coming into their country, a non-problematic, a simple, original traveler or visitor coming to their country, not a visitor coming to come and stay and begin to violate his visa or visa condition. They don't want, it's about border control. Immigration comes with a lot of consequences, both for the migrants, for the country of origin, the migrant, and the country, host country. I did a video on migration and development. I mentioned all of this. So it's a very tricky and a very risky venture for all parties, the migrants, the home country where they're coming from, and the country where they're coming into. So it's a very sensitive situation, and they want to be sure right people are entering their country. And you must prove that you are the right person to enter their country. I wish you well. Until I see you in my next video, kindly subscribe to this channel and tell others. I wish you well.